Well, more scary things in the so-called friendly skies. United Airlines, just the latest to have to pull several of its jets off the runways for reinspection. This after discovering that certain instruments in the cockpit were not checked properly and could pose a danger. Now, we get this news just 2 days after the FAA announced it will be checking the maintenance records of all U.S. airlines. That move was prompted by the FAA's discovery that Southwest Airlines had skipped several safety measures before putting its planes in the air. That wound up costing Southwest a $10 million fine. Joining us now with more is the former chief spokesperson for the FAA, Scott Brenner. Hi, Scott.
Good morning, Megan.
Okay, so what exactly was wrong with these United jets that led to 7 of them to be grounded?
It appears that, at least what I've read from press reports, is some of the tools that are used to do the checks were not properly calibrated.
They said it was something having to do with keeping, it helps the plane keep watch out for other planes in the air so they don't collide, I guess.
Correct. And again, I think we need to keep this in perspective. A lot of the times when the FAA issues these airworthiness directives, which are basically new rules that the aircraft have to follow, do a variety of checks on different pieces of equipment. Some are obviously more important than others. Here's one is that they were doing the checks and the tools that they were using weren't up to spec, and so it looks like they just pulled those aircraft back, did a quick check, and got them back in the air.
All right, Scott. Full disclosure, our viewers know this by now. I'm afraid of flying.
Okay.
Not so much because of terrorists, but because of this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Because of maintenance issues that could bring an aircraft down. When I'm up there, I feel like I'm the only one who understands what that plane is doing in the air. I hear the story and I think, all right, how many others are there?
No, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple more carriers going through similar issues right now. I think the FAA and then the carriers right now have a very good system to do these checks, these maintenance checks. But I think every once in a while, I think it's very good that the FAA goes out there and says, all right, we're going to look at all of your records. So I think the carriers try and get out in front of this, try and do a little self-reporting, and hopefully they don't end up in the same situation where Southwest did with that $10 million fine.
Exactly. I mean, I don't doubt that the airlines are doing their best to keep us safe. Obviously, they have moral and commercial reasons to do that. But I do find it disturbing that now we've got 7 United jets that have been grounded right on the heels of this Southwest thing. What is it that can put consumers at ease that there's not going to be another 10 jets on American next week or 12 jets on Delta?
Now, you know, I think all you can really do, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. People are nervous. When you're at 33,000 feet, you want to make sure everything is functioning properly. But then the reality is also air travel is probably the safest form of transportation we have in this country.
It is, right, Scott?
Absolutely.
We're safe up there, aren't we?
All the time.
Swear?
Yeah.
Keep on pushing him.
Thank you.
He wavered with every response.
That will run through my head the next time I'm on
a bus or train. Those are options. Car, it's an option.
Look, when they call me up and say, get out to Utah, there's a mining disaster.
Right.
How am I going to bus or train out there?
You get on the train, you say, I'll be there in 3 days. Can you wait for me?